Ben, what are we doing here today?
Playing some games, rolling some dice. Well, specifically, that is happening tomorrow. So the Kickstarter, which, as you guys can see down there, over 700K right now, which is incredible. And we are in the final stretch for the Kickstarter right now. It will be wrapping up tomorrow at midnight. So we are a little over, 16 hours away or something like that from it wrapping. I don't know how time works.
16? No, we got more than that.
24
Right?
plus
no.
4.
Yeah.
5.
See, this is why I don't do the math. We're 20
29.
something hours.
29.
Wow, it's way more than 16. Well, a thunderstorm also just started right where I'm at, so hopefully it doesn't kill my
I just
internet.
put in the Discord. I was like, Ben's got really low res all of a sudden, and then now you're back, so I think it's okay.
Okay, that might be why.
I just noticed
all right,
on
so
on YouTube, I'm behind the death battle watermark. I didn't see that happening.
Oh, you got
well,
you. Mike
fuck
was
it,
asking
fuck it.
yourself.
I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
Without
it
never
depends how
have
big
we-
your browser is or your
yeah, they'll be okay.
phone screen is.
Oh yeah, you
There you
look
go.
you look fine on my view.
Yeah.
Like we
Okay,
said.
The
so-
subtle Aaron flex there.
On my giant
Tomorrow.
monitor.
Yeah.
This is the first of many streams that we want to do. Tomorrow we will be doing, as you see on that schedule right there, we will be doing Death Battle Cast as normal, with a matchup
Get
that
big
has been
for a
long
second.
requested. Sam has too much power.
I know.
Palpatine versus Xehanort, and then we are going to be continuing after Death Battle Cast. We'll take a quick little break to refresh, and then come back at 3 for a live Q&A, Death Battle watch along. Basically, the kind of similar to what we did when we first launched the Kickstarter almost 30 days ago. At this point, a big stream with us and you guys watching the show and talking about it. But then at 11 p.m. or at 7 p.m. we will be playing a D&D game, doing our first ever actual play. I guess technically not our first ever. We did a Shadow Dark game for members earlier this year, but this will be the first time we're doing like a D&D live stream, a full like one shot, and I'm very excited because this is going to be super fun. And then we'll be playing that and wrap things up at midnight as the Kickstarter closes. And I know we keep saying this, but thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for everything you have done, everything you have pledged towards the Kickstarter so far. It is absolutely mind blowing that number right there. It's crazy. So for the game tomorrow, we need characters to play. So I'm going to be DMing. I'm going to be the dungeon master for the game. This is actually one shot I wrote. I originally wrote the first version of it like 2 years ago or something like that when the Spelljammer books came out. And I ran it once, thought it was really fun, and now I'm running it for these guys with some adjustments. And these guys need some characters. So the basic premise of the one shot is it's inspired strongly by 80s and 90s like cartoons and 80s action sci-fi. So think Thundercats or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Alien. When the Xenomorph got loose, what would have happened if they just called the Power Rangers? That's basically what this is. So that's the kind of tone this one shot goes for. So we need to come up with characters, and I have my lovely players here. We got Austin, we got Aaron, we got Chad, we got Liam, and we got Sam, and they all need to make characters. So this is a character building stream, and you guys can get involved as well. So we'd love to hear what you guys in the chat, what you want to say about certain character ideas and whatnot. But also, I'm going to have some characters that you guys can help make, some NPCs that will appear during the one shot. It's going to be very exciting. So we'll get to those in a little bit. Also, I'm curious. I actually want to put up a poll to see who here is like familiar with D&D. Like, have you played? Are you familiar? And I mean, what are you expecting from this stream? Because if you're not familiar, I mean, I'm going to do my best to help go through the character building process for people who aren't familiar. But this will be kind of interesting if you've never built a character before, because you're basically going to learn how to do that.
Yeah, while you're doing that, quick shout out. Thanks to everybody dropping the super chats and the gifting memberships. We appreciate y'all. But also, not just as a character building stream, this is also a Kickstarter building stream because it is the final, like I said, 29 hours. So this, apparently like y'all crushed it out of the park out the gate, but then we're just like, hey, if there's more happening, it gets crazy in the last 2 days, maybe. And we're like, you know what? Let's do some live streams. Let's hang out. Let's see how far y'all want to take this thing. So yeah. Sam will check in periodically while he's also... I got
the number right there. I'm eating soup. It's also a mukbang. This is the most confused stream we've ever done. I'm sorry.
Yeah. y'all, this is...
Are you eating?
The curtain's never been further back on Death Battle.
Yeah. But we're ready and excited also. So I think it's going to be good. I do think it is going to be really cool because like Ben said, we've never done like an actual play thing, but all of us have always wanted to. So it's super fun to just like get to do it.
Yeah. All right. So we need to start with some characters. Does everybody here have a D20?
Oh,
on
in person?
hand?
No.
I can virtually get a D20.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
if
carry
not,
one in my
go to
throat
Google.
pouch.
Go to Google
Yeah.
and just type in roll 1d20, and I
Actually,
want
Ben-
everybody to give me your number.
Oh, okay. Honor
Ooh.
system.
I got a 2.
I bet I'll beat
So-
you, Austin.
I
got
feel like
a
that's pretty
16.
good. 100?
I got a 17.
7.
Aaron, you got a 15.
16.
Chad, you got a 17.
Yeah.
15.
I got 7.
Liam is 7, and Sam
6.
6. Wow, we got highs and very lows.
I'm looking
Okay.
forward to what this is projecting for the future for me. I'm very excited for myself.
Chad, was there something you wanted to say?
No, I was just stoked I got a 17.
Oh, okay.
Good job, buddy.
Actually, no, but while you're doing that, just do you want to go do a quick little like how familiar we are all each individually with D&D,
Sure.
so people know what to expect and set their expectations.
I-
I'll
Sure, I
go first. Always been interested in D&D. Never really took the time to do it until I played like 2 games with some Rooster Teeth folks, and then scheduling fell apart. And then I was so incredibly fortunate to be asked to participate in Grim Campaign, which is a show that Sam created along with a handful of others, Eddie and Cody and everything. And it was basically in canon Ruby universe, but if we made it work in D&D 5e, they put in so much work. And it was one of the most fun times I have ever had in online content creation. So that was great. And then I played a campaign with friends for a little while, and then it once again died to scheduling. So I'm like, I know a little bit of stuff, but bear with me, and I will have a lot of questions.
So you've only played 5e, and the majority of it is this like homebrewed version of 5e.
Yes, correct.
To be fair, though, the way 5th edition is designed, it's like it's super easy to just completely jack it and change it, and it doesn't break anything. It's one of the best things about it. It's one of the reasons why it's so popular, because it's very easy to homebrew for it. It's also kind of complicated, but you don't always really need to get into the complexities as a player. But okay, well, going down the line, I guess if anybody else wants to talk about their experience, Austin.
Yeah, played it a lot as a kid, and when I say a lot, I mean like 3 times. And when I say played it, got through character creation, maybe. Got really excited about the prospect of it, and then just never really played. And then it wasn't until, I don't know, like I think the start of the pandemic, Sam and I started playing with a buddy of ours, Panda, as the DM, and a handful of our friends, and that went for probably a year until we got TK'd by scheduling conflicts. So
The final boss of any D&D campaign.
Right.
Aaron. And also just TTRPGs in general. No, you got a lot.
In the chat,
do.
Liam is the kobold.
Oh, they've decided, Liam. That's what you're doing now.
Oh,
actually.
Get your
am I a
candle.
kobold? I'm gonna need to make some changes.
According to
my
stories of a
character
satyr, you are.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as my tabletop history goes, it's pretty long and storied. I actually first got into it by my dad teaching me how to play Pathfinder when I was like 10.
Aw.
Yeah, and then I picked up D&D in college. Ended up starting to DM for my friend group, but then kind of made me the forever DM of that group until recently. But yeah, I actually just this last weekend did the semi-final session for a 5-year long campaign we were doing in 5e, an entirely homebrewed world. So that's
So
pretty
you're
fun.
you're a pro.
Yeah, and then I also DM for other systems. I DM a pretty perpetual game in Monster of the Week. It's a D6 based system. And then I'm also DMing a kind of Cowboys Wild Western adventure off of a hack of Blades in the Dark.
Oh, I have this
So-
big plan for a Monsters of the Week style or a D6 style, like Angels and Devils Wild West thing that I've wanted to do for years. I love the like D6 Monster of the Week style and Powered by the Apocalypse and such. I feel like it's way simpler to tell a story in like,
Oh yeah.
if you're going to do a shorter campaign, I feel like that's the way to go.
So Sam also very experienced with D&D.
No,
and
not at
Liam,
all.
where are you clocking in at? No, not in a way. No, that was incredible insight.
What did you just say to me?
I said, where are you clocking in?
Where am
On
I
the
clocking
scale
in? What does that
Oh,
mean?
we're not paying you.
In
Experience.
terms of D&D
Experience.
experience.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Have
talking
you been
about.
listening, Liam?
Oh. I have been listening. It was a weird analogy. Jesus. I've played a couple of D&D campaigns DM'd by the great Ben Singer himself. And I also played Baldur's Gate 3.
Which is
there you go.
It
Yeah.
is D&D, but also changes some things.
It does change. Makes it easier and makes it more like fun at like low level, more capable of combat at low level. But yeah, so I have some experience, but I'm not like super experienced, I would say. I still like I really before that I've mostly played paladins, and Baldur's Gate was my experience like trying out different classes because you have the different characters. Yeah, that's my basic experience.
Yeah, I was a huge WoW nerd, so that helps me out a lot too with certain things.
You won't be
but
getting
yeah,
any purple items tonight.
There's a lot of stuff in D&D that is basically stolen from WoW. D&D 4th edition was essentially them trying to make World of Warcraft in a tabletop RPG.
I would also
And
say
some
there's a
of that-
lot of things in
some of
World of
that moved
Warcraft
over into
stolen by
stolen from D&D.
D&D.
as
Oh,
well, yeah.
for
every
sure. For
RPG.
original D&D,
Yeah. Thanks,
it
Gary.
goes back and forth. Yeah. Oh yeah. The original D&D inspired all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Getting some very big Lord of the Rings vibes from this D&D.
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. Some people have heard of it, I guess.
Yeah.
So on that note, we will be making 5th level characters. So if you don't like
Sick.
playing at low levels, if you don't like not having extra attack, you will have it. So long as you are 5 levels in a single class.
Yeah.
So we, based on your roles, I have a list. I have an order.
Did you
and
not
we
want
will
to
be
hear about
going
my
in order
experience at
of
all?
that.
Just never.
Hmm?
Just no. Never mind.
Oh, I thought you already gave your experience.
No,
What is your
that's fine.
experience? Go for
Let me
it.
paint the picture really quick. It's 1999. The Phantom Menace has come out. It's cool as fucking shit, and I want nothing more than to be a Jedi. So my mother signs me up for D&D Star Wars at Hastings, which is like a Blockbuster for hipsters. Anyways, it kicked ass. I played a lot of it. I've always loved CRPGs. I used to keep Baldur's Gate, the discs for Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 in my office at work because it was like a good nerd card to be like, look, I'm ready at any time. This is when we had CD-ROMs. It's been a long time. Ignore my age. But yeah, a fair bit of experience, but not a ton. I do really, really love it. It's just such a hard thing to schedule sometimes. So that's why I'm really excited that we're getting to do it for work because it's the perfect excuse, and then we can yell at people if they don't show up. It's great.
Yeah, this is how you make
We're
sure people
bound.
actually do show up to your game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay them.
Okay,
I'm
so
kidding. Well, some of us are.
we are going to be doing a game that is using D&D 5e and specifically set within the Spelljammer universe, sort of. Spelljammer, if you're not familiar, is essentially D&D in space.
Space.
If you've ever seen Treasure Planet, the space with ships, movie that is actually kind of good, but nobody watched.
Not
it's
Treasure
like that.
Island in space. You went with the space with ships.
Yes. See, that is why I'm the DM. I am very eloquent and I know words good. So
it's all good.
I guess my experience, I've DM'd quite a few campaigns. I'm currently DMing a Curse of Strahd one that Aaron is actually in.
It's going
and
so well.
yeah, they just
We've
they
only
might be
had
banned from town.
4 deaths in the party.
Yeah.
Only 3.
Oh, dang.
But that's Curse of Strahd for you. This is not Curse of Strahd. This is gonna be Spelljammer, which is cool. And it's very we're going for something a bit more lighthearted than something like Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, I think
Obviously,
the
going into
proper
that
adjective
cartoon
is
vibe.
radical.
Yeah.
Radical, bodacious,
Yeah.
tubular. We're getting into that mindset. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to run through this list that we have based on our D20 rolls, and we're going to see what you all are thinking. And then I'm going to bounce around a bit as we start building these characters. Chat, feel free to jump in with any of your suggestions or thoughts. We'd love to see them. But with that roll of 17, I believe, Chad, let's start with you.
All right. So I know
what kind
some
of character
people...
are you thinking?
Well, I'm torn between 2, Ben. And that is, I'm gonna let the chat decide. So it's gonna be what y'all want to see. But basically, do I create some version of Boomstick for this one shot and just play that character that I know how to play to death? Or do I go with like a really like Bill and Ted Street Sharks inspired like just lizard super like dude bro person that's like my persona but it amplified and really have a lot of fun with that. So it's like,
are we talking a difference between redneck and skater bro?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, skater bro, Bill and Ted kind of, like, whatever. Or do I just straight do whatever D&D's version of Space Boomstick is? Because I could have fun with either. I really want it to be what y'all want to see. And surprisingly enough, I haven't really like ever like got to really play that like like whatever dude like character, even though that's like my normal stereotype. I knew where this was gonna go.
Well, we'll leave the pull up for just a little bit, because either one would work really well, and because we are in Spelljammer, that basically ensures that we open up to the wide world of D&D races and classes and whatnot. There's really no limitations here unless you want to do something very, very specific, like a mark from Eberron or something like that.
Mhm.
But so whatever weird direction this ends up going, I'm sure we can make it into a character. So
Yeah,
we currently have in the poll, it was 60%. Okay, it's wavering for redneck at 60%, 59%. A few other people, maybe Chad, some people aren't really sure what your skater bro character like this persona is that you're talking about that you are typically associated with. So can you give them an example
it would
of
be
what
like
a skater bro character would be?
Well, like kind of like the Michelangelo of the Ninja Turtles, right? Like he's like always there, like happy to have a good time, and like I think we're supposed to make a band of some sort, right? And so like
I forgot to mention that you're all in a band.
Yeah, so we're in a band, and so it's like like you'd have like a guitar skateboard or some ridiculous thing, and it's like, so that would be that. I was assuming some kind of lizard person. I don't even know what class. We'd have to play around with that. When it comes to Boomstick, if I were to make him into this world, I was originally thinking like dwarf was like my first thought, but then like Ben, I know when I bounced it off of you, you mentioned something that would be really fun. What are they called?
GIF.
Yeah. So like basically be
hippo
like
people.
if Boomstick woke up one day as a hippo.
I love the GIFs. They're super fun.
And I feel like if we did the Boomstick thing, he'd have to be like a barbarian or an artificer. for like the lizard thing, I have no idea because I'm not
They
super,
also
super
automatically
experienced.
get firearms mastery. So typically you don't get firearms mastery, and also even with Spelljammer, like there are ways to make sure that you can get a gun, but gifts just get them. They're born naturally gun
That's literally
people, I
perfect.
guess.
which is pretty
Yeah.
rad.
Perfect boomstick.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
helps.
Okay, so it's pretty definitive. Redneck
Wait.
at 60%. So
That's
are
fine.
you feeling hippo boomstick? Is that what's going on?
It's that or like dwarf for me because like when I first was like, if I was gonna do this, I feel like boomstick would be a dwarf. But then I think for the purpose of this specific one shot, I feel like gifts is how you gotta go. You can't do the like 90s space inspired like thing without having like it's gotta be an animal, right? Like
Yeah, I just imagine the 90s CG on him. So good. Can you?
yeah, and yeah, I'll do the voice, y'all. When we do the thing tomorrow, I'll do the voice for as long as I can.
Can you add the vocal fat of a hippo to the boomstick?
Oh God. Okay, hold on. All right. So normally it would be like this, but maybe with the hippo we've got more cheeks, and it would sound like this.
Great. Perfect.
Look at that shaking and
That
That's
kind of
perfect.
noise.
good.
Novocaine.
Yeah, I think it's been decided.
Yeah, perfect. Well done,
All right,
Chad.
y'all. That's
All right.
what you wanted. This is for y'all. These
was just
streams are
on
for
that.
you. I want y'all to have entertaining, fun time. And if you want to see the GIF boomstick live in space treasure town, let's go.
Okay. Well, we have the GIF boomstick. So have you thought about for a redneck? You were thinking it would either be like barbarian or artificer.
That was like kind of my gut, but like I'm also like not like super well versed with all of the potential classes. So like I've played rogue, barbarian, and bard in my D&D experiences. I was thinking the only reason I thought like artificer was for like the gun stuff, but if that's covered by hippo, maybe barbarian really sells it. So that way we've got guns and like, because like
Why barbarian?
Because Boomstick's probably wants to do the like I just want to run in and start the fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, and like be all up in it.
Okay.
But then, and if I have gun proficiency, it's like is it like a cool hybrid where it's like he can be up in the fight, but like also because Boomstick wouldn't be the I'm just gonna stay back and like shoot people. Like, what's like a cool hybrid, Ben? What can I do where I can throw some hands and also shoot some stuff.
I'm gonna allow you guys to take feats as well. You can get a free feat, and there is a feat that allows you.
Well, Boomstick only has one.
Well, at least yeah, exactly. And this is the one that he's got. So the one that he has can be. Is it sharpshooter? Oh my gosh, spell. No. What is the one I'm thinking of that lets you attack?
Anarchy Hamster says fighter. Is it fighter?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest maybe fighter.
Oh,
okay. There's a feat that allows you to do it up close.
Tavern Brawler? Is it Tavern Brawler? Something like that?
That's
No,
improvised
it's
weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, because that does sound Tavern Brawler sounds pretty spot on though.
Probably crossbow expert.
Improvised weapons are kind of fun.
That one.
Yeah. This would still apply. We could also honestly just like retool this for a musket or something like that.
Yeah, 100% blunderbuss. Had to be a blunderbuss.
Great. Yeah. And we can retool crossbow expert to work with that instead of crossbows. So that would be your feat so that you could get up in front of people. So barbarian is very much the class is built around wielding a big weapon that you smack people with. Right. It is definitely not necessarily it's a strength class. This is going to be one of the trickier things. If you're going to be based on guns, that's technically a dexterity stat because it is a projectile weapon. Right. So somebody in chat mentioned maybe fighter. Fighter's probably a good one to go with. It sounds kind of generic. It's like the generic like melee one, but also it's super flexible in what you can do with it. It allows you to get more feats than normal. So you would have action surge, which means you'd be able to attack twice in one turn or do 2 actions in a turn rather than one. You could get the extra attack, so you could shoot your blunderbuss twice. fighting style, I believe archery would apply to this, so that would be a +2 bonus to attack rolls, which would work really well for just to make sure that you hit people with your gun. And then martial archetype, there's a lot of options for fighter, for boomstick, for like a boomstick style character. Ooh.
Don't you feel like he'd be up like in it? Like he'd be kind of tanky, right? Like
There is the gunslinger. There is.
maybe we move away from the gun
I don't want to bring the
stuff.
gunslinger.
Maybe we move
I
away
think
from
the
the gun stuff
is
because
unique. I like the gun stuff.
Okay.
The GIF has it. So let's approach this from a different angle. How do you imagine this hippo man just acting just like Boomstick, or is there like a direction you want to take him that like is maybe more similar to another character from like an 80s or 90s like show, or
Star-Lord Boomstick?
Is there some other inspiration that you want to bring in? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like my thing there was just like I either play like this super radical 90s character or I play Boomstick for if that's what they want to see and have fun. So so this would be like very like how Boomstick would react to things.
So you want to really embrace it. Like this is
and I mean a big ass
Boomstick.
weapon works too, right? Because that's the whole thing. When we created the character, he's supposed to be the weapons expert. So it's like all types of weapons.
Sure.
So that totally works.
Sure.
It's
And
like
I mean you could be a strength and dex. Like that would be fine. And if you want to really lean into a weapons expert, then Battle Master is the way to go. And this is honestly the best fighter class anyway. So the idea with Battle Master is you will get, whereas spellcasters get spells, Battle Masters get maneuvers. And there's a bunch of them, so it'll take a little bit of time to read through them, but I can suggest some that you might like.
I'm also going to need an easy class, Ben. That's the
fighter is probably the easiest. One of the easier classes, but this will give you a little bit of complexity to a little bit to add to that. I've played a Battle Master before. I think they're super fun. So essentially, the basic idea with the Battle Master is when you attack somebody with a weapon, you can do something special with the weapon. There are some maneuvers that do other things, but like for example, you can disarm somebody when you strike them. You can distract them to get advantage on another attack. You can feint to get advantage on attack. Actually, I think that's the one that does that. There's one that's menacing attack, which like you hit them so hard they're scared of you and they get the frightened condition and they run away and whatnot. So I think Battle Master's probably the way to go for this kind of thing. However, if you want to go to the fighter page on D&D Beyond and look through some of these subclasses and the battle maneuvers, I highly recommend looking through that right now.
I really liked everything you've been saying, but yeah, happy to do that.
So go ahead and start looking through that. I'm going to jump over to Aaron for their character here, but go ahead and start looking through Battle Master and Fighter, and then when I come back to you, we'll see how you're feeling. So we've got a Fighter Battle Master Hippo Boomstick.
Pretty good.
That's a thing.
You're gonna make me put more cheeks into every line, aren't you? All right.
It should be blurry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Aaron, what are you thinking?
Okay, so this character entirely comes from my wife came up with a pun name. So I want to play a satyr, and his name is going to be Elton Fawn.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Love that.
Okay, I love it.
I assume you play piano or keyboard or guitar.
Keytar.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Amazing.
And yeah, as far as
That's good.
it's Elton John, but a satyr, and just as fabulous. And I'll brush up on my cute little British accent for tomorrow.
I love it.
He's a rocket man.
I was gonna go with a hippo rock because I thought it was more.
All right, so clearly you've got the race down. Is there any particular like character trait that you're thinking of, or do you already have a class in mind?
Not married to a class. I feel like some kind of magic user would be fun. Kind of my two thoughts but again, I'm feeling flexible. I'm not settled on anything. Is some kind of sorcerer or wizard, or maybe even kind of like a trickster cleric could be fun. I feel like all of those go with a certain level of showmanship. So
How how close to Elton John are we talking in terms of characterization, or is there any other? Are there any other characters that you might use as like inspiration for the personality here?
I'm going pretty firmly Elton John, more like 80s Elton. So very fabulous pop star.
A lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, I mean, if you go sorcerer and you do something like twin spell, then you could be really play up the like manipulating magic and make it all flare and flashy.
Yeah.
Um, trying
Ben,
to
where,
think
where do I
of.
see this, by the way? I go
It
to
also makes
classes.
sense to go charisma with the charisma
Mm. Yeah.
one for it as well. What are you asking, Chad?
So I'm under class, and then I click on fighter, and it just wants me to add a fighting style, but or second win. I get to choose
So
something.
at the top of so if you look at what we're streaming right now, I'm more so just thinking rather than building the character right now, go to game rules, classes, and then find fighter in there. I'd like you to read through the first 5 levels of like what those first 5 levels of abilities do, and then look at battle master. And if you're not feeling battle master, then look at some of the other subclasses that are listed there.
Okay. Thank you.
A lot of
Okay.
people in chat are also suggesting Bard.
Yeah, that feels like a natural for it.
Yeah.
And Bard's broken as hell, so.
think
It
a
is.
lot of you guys are probably gonna have characters that fit Bard. So I imagine that's probably why you didn't go Bard right away.
Yeah, I'm also aware. I think Sam, you were kind of looking at playing a Bard.
Yeah, but I'm also really amenable. I feel like the character's concept could also be like an artificer or something where the technology of it kind of makes things happen. So
Let's jump to you then, because I know you have a pretty strong idea of what you want to do.
strong is the right
Yeah, get
word.
ready.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I let me go to my characters up here and look here. I made the character Bork, and that O has a umlaut, and I am a race that Ben helped homebrew here called an auto hound, because in Spelljammer specifically they're auto gnomes, so I kind of went off that and what would an auto gnome's dog be like? And yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, the best thing might be to just go through. I had an explanation of the character on my character sheet. I could just read that if you think that'll probably work. Oh, look, I got Dog Foley in real life. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Bork
Let
the
me
auto
pull this up.
hound.
Yeah.
I agree, Marks. Artificer is one of my favorite classes. My favorite character I've ever played was, as wild as it sounds, a multi-class barbarian artificer. It was super fun.
Ooh.
That sounds interesting. But yeah, robot dog based off auto gnome class. Here's what I wrote on the character sheet. I was built for the fascist government of auto gnomes to be a municipal firefighting bot. My jaw could attach to any water outlet, and I could blast water out of my hose-like tail. I hated life, but one day while putting out fire at a concert venue, I witnessed a band so impassioned by their own music they refused to evacuate the burning stage. Of course, they died in a fiery blaze, but their passion inspired me. I knew I was meant for more than firefighting. I was meant for the stage. So yeah, that's kind of the basic idea of the dog. And like obviously being named Bork, it's like next to Bjork, and I always joked around. We almost named one of our dogs that because it was like, I was like, what if it's a
Bark,
Swedish
bark,
dog?
bark.
It would Bjork. Anyway, so
Bjork was a firefighter.
Yes. Obviously Bjork was not. They probably had a, alphanumerical name before this, but Bjork is certainly their stage name. And yeah, their dog, I have a horrible robot voice. Bork, Bork, I am Bork the dog. And then
And you're
I have a
our
great-
you're our singer, right?
I did write in, but I don't want to take that spot if it makes sense, because Elton Fawn also probably deserves a time to shine. I also had some stuff about how they got the first ship out, which was a maniacal warship, but it was kind of cool because I got to learn how to play the war drums because I wrote this after taking some proficiencies and stuff on the character sheet. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty amicable though. I just think the idea of a like Icelandic emo robot dog is very funny and like a fun archetype to play around. So Bard made sense in my mind, but also like I've already had some stuff like part of it was that the firefighting, like, you know, because the tail, it was like jaw sucks in stuff, fills up belly with water, shoot at things to put out waters, and like the tail's been modified to be like a wind flute, so I can do kind of stuff like that. And like I think that can also play into the artificer role where it's like I could, you know, we could homebrew a system of like drinking certain potiony things, and I know there's that word sim or whatever it is, like the space juice, and like you can shoot that out. Like there's a way I think an artificer could also be really fun for the character, so I'm not tied to the class really.
I will say people do like you as the singer so far from what I'm seeing.
Well,
Oh, with the robo voice.
Yeah.
Well, I can
Sure.
also robo hard tune. Let me give you. Bork, bork, I am a dog who fought fires, but now the fire I fight is in my heart.
Yeah, see, that's perfect.
Okay, so if
And that
I
goes to the
can't-
lyrics to the song.
I
I
can't
mean, we could have
hear
two
it.
bards.
Yeah, I can't hear
Like, that's
that, so I
fine.
don't know how grating it will be for people to hear often.
No, it was
Um,
it was pretty
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
not as egregious as it
So
was the
I'll
other
keep
time.
it to a
I will
minimal.
say, especially for those of you who are very WoW focused, D&D 5e, there are different schools of thoughts about party balance and whatnot. I'm of the opinion that like it's not that big of a deal in D&D. There's enough flexibility in every class that you don't need a cleric, right? You don't need tanks don't even really exist in D&D. You don't necessarily need that frontline fighter in every group. The
But I
party
will be
dynamic,
doing it.
well,
So-
you'll be doing, but what I'm saying is don't feel like you need to fill a certain role in the party
Mm.
dynamic in terms of like, are you a striker? Are you a ranged? Are you DPS, etc.? You don't necessarily need to fill those types of roles. So both of you can be bards, and that'd be perfectly fine. In fact, bard is one of the most dynamic classes in the game. So the two of you would probably it wouldn't even really feel like you're both bards unless you go pick the same subclass, which I doubt this would.
All bards.
So yeah, you could go all bards if you want.
Oops, all bards.
Oops,
Yeah.
That would certainly be interesting. But yeah, so I'm down for both of you guys going bard. If sorcerer still has that extra magic flair, if you want to really get into the magical expression, I guess, and is still a charisma class, so it's not like it's necessarily going to be like you're not as you don't. It's not like you wouldn't have that Elton John swagger. So yeah, I think it really comes down to whichever one you think works best, and I don't think you need to determine it based on what Bjork is.
The only
So-
reason that I really like Sam as a bard is for vicious mockery with Sam's wit and that voice. That's the only reason that I want that
a big
tab.
part of
All
it is I
people
did want
are
vicious mockery. I
shy.
mentioned that to Ben.
Yes. Now, because you're getting a free feat, you can get vicious
Yeah.
mockery through Magic Initiate.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you could go Artificer, still have vicious mockery. It would be charisma based, which would not be the same as the rest of your spells. Might be a little weird, but you could technically still get it. And we could just play it like it's intelligence, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that's the only real downside for Artificer is it's intelligence based. So you probably end up having to kind of dump charisma a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, right? Like at the end of the day, like I feel like a robot, even especially this Bork, should kind of be specced away that they don't want to be, because like they were made for one thing and they're trying to be something else.
Bjork's goal, if Bjork was built to be this like off the assembly
Firefighting
line,
robot?
like
Yeah.
machine to do a standard task, and Bjork's goal is to become something special, something more, then isn't Artificer, would being an Artificer be you could play it one of two ways. If it's Artificer, it is him trying to be something different than what the Artificer was built to be. Or if you're Bard, that could kind of highlight that maybe he was expected to be essentially an Artificer, but he wasn't. Like, he was born for the stage. He is literally a Bard. So I think depending on what you want his internal conflict to be, that might be a good way to decide on the class there.
Yeah, I kind of like the
Does that make
idea
sense?
of. It does make a lot of sense. I kind of like the idea of, like, because the idea is like I was born and I was created for this, and I don't want to do it. So I think that makes sense to be an Artificer playing against its class almost.
I love just a dude in chat saying, I love how serious they're talking about Bjork. Yeah, this is serious business. Like, D&D is 2 games, the game and then character building. It's its own thing. Awesome. Okay, so I think go ahead and start looking through those subclasses for Bard. Aaron, was there a particular how are you feeling about the Bard versus Sorcerer thing? Are you leaning one way or the other?
I feel like I'd have a lot of fun playing either. So
You can let the
also-
chat vote.
yeah, I mean we could put it up to a vote. I'm down to do that.
Okay. How are you spelling Elton Fawn?
Elton like Elton and fawn like a baby deer.
FAWN.
And fawn
right?
like fawn.
Yeah.
Elton like
And
Elton.
fawn like
Fawn
fawn.
like fawn.
Really helped him out
yeah,
there.
just double checking. Okay, I'm putting it to chat. While chat is voting on that, let's jump over to Liam.
Yeah.
Liam, what kind of character are you feeling?
So my character's name is Gerbulschnart.
Oh God.
Really?
That is spelled GERBULSCHNART.
Are you a
Gerbulschnart.
plasmoid?
I am not a plasmoid.
Okay.
I thought that was
Are
a
you a
cool
goblin?
idea. No, I am not a goblin. I am a very
Okay.
ungerbulschnart sounding race. I looked through the races and I was like, which one sounds the most fun? And I saw Loxodon. And Loxodons are big ass elephant people.
All right.
Okay, we got a hippo.
Perfect.
Yo, we're gonna do some animal crackers. We got
I'm
we got
Gerbulschnart. I'm very nice and very shy. Hello.
Are you
I like
like
it.
a Ringo Starr
great.
elephant? Is that what you're going for here?
Yeah, it's a little
It's a
mystical.
little mix between Ringo Starr and Mr. Frog from Smiling Friends. Oh, hello, Mr. Frog. Hello.
that was a little Peppa
These-
Pig's dad there too.
Hold on,
they're
so
related.
legit so far we are all animals.
Yes.
One of them is
it's
a
a
robot
animal,
animal.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fitting.
Humans.
It's fitting.
are yeah. So I don't have a specific. I'm kind of between 2 classes, but I also don't super care. So that either a barbarian because of the instrument that I plan on. I have an instrument in mind, a musical instrument that I was thinking about utilizing as a barbarian weapon. Or I could be a rogue because I thought the idea of a Loxodon assassin would be really funny. And it was that if he thinks he's about to get caught, he just falls on all 4s and pretends to be an elephant.
That's fun. I remember it's when WoW was just like, and Taurens can now be rogues, and everyone was like, no, that's great.
Perfect.
I love the juxtaposition there.
Yeah, the rogue is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
And
that
you can
a
use your
lot.
trunk for picking locks and stuff.
For
Yeah.
It's
picking
hard to with
Yeah.
these, like
With these big things, it's hard for me to do that. I'll use my trunk, honk.
you just
I know.
smash it open, lock picked.
Yeah.
I don't want to like project onto you, but are you a horn player or what?
Oh,
No, my instrument is the electric slab. And so what that is that Gerbulschnart was a humble bricklayer with dreams to make music and an artistic literary mind. And he didn't like laying bricks, but he also had no musical talent because he had to do that to make ends meet. And one day, in a fit of anguish at his fate, he was slamming his head against one of the brick slabs, and it made such a melodious sound So he has an electric slab. It's just a big like slab of brick connected to an amp that he can use as percussion, but also as a horn instrument because he just puts it in his mouth and blows really hard. He can also use it as a string, but no one's actually seen him do it. They just sometimes during when they're playing, they'll hear the string instrument coming from the electric slab, but no one's ever actually seen how he does it. It's a secret.
I felt bad at first for not have hearing about this instrument previously, but now, yeah, I get it. Okay.
I was very confused for a minute there.
I was like, I've never heard of an electric slab. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could've
yeah.
just played the
It's something he
trunk.
developed.
Liam went so deep.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So hence the barbarian thought.
I was gonna attaching it to like a microphone stand and like smashing people with the
Yeah.
slab.
Yeah, I guess it depends on that because it sounds like you want to go with like that sort of quiet demeanor.
Yes. So I want
Okay.
him to be like when he's in battle, he's like a vicious killer. Like he's an assassin that like Jack the Ripper's people, but he doesn't realize it because he doesn't know his own strength. But he could also do it for a barbarian. So I want some kind of juxtaposition.
Okay.
I love the.
I mean,
elephant rogue
you can
idea,
you can
personally.
play it both ways.
Yeah,
So rogue, the barbarian one is, I think, pretty straightforward, right? Like
Yes.
you activate rage, but maybe he doesn't really realize that he's raging, and it just sort of plays off like
It's
that.
a quiet rage.
Stop
Rogue has sneak attack, and you can play sneak attack off as not him like, getting that backstab in,
Yeah.
but anytime he activates sneak attack, he accidentally like shows off his strength too much.
Yeah, he bumps into people because he's super big and doesn't know his own size.
Yeah, and then you roll 66 or whatever it's gonna be. It's like, oh shit, I didn't realize I hit you that hard.
Stop crying. Be quiet. I smash his head on accident.
I actually really like the idea of playing off sneak attack as an accident. Like,
I love that. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do rogue.
That's
We're gonna
really
do a
good.
I love Elephant Rogue is
Fun.
great. Also, Ben, it looks like the poll's ready to be wrapped up for Aaron's character for
Yeah,
Elton
yeah, it
Fawn.
looks like Elton Fawn. We've got 58% on Sorcerer.
Okay.
How you feeling about that?
I feel good about it.
All right.
Every time you do a saving throw, you just yell, "I'm still standing!" Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I love that. Okay, Gerbil Schnart, the Luxodon Rogue.
Hello.
So,
Yeah.
Liam, what I'd
I'm
like
so
you to do
sorry.
is go
Yeah.
to the Rogue page and start looking at subclasses. Off the top of my head, for like an accident. So assassin, the assassin subclass, I'm not a big fan of. I don't think it's necessarily gonna play well with this because that you have to
Yeah.
be very like deliberate with the assassin class. It's all about sort of like planning out your sneak attack and you have to surprise targets essentially, which
Mhm.
I mean, this guy might be surprising people in certain ways, but they will see him. So technically, the surprise
Yeah.
mechanic doesn't work. Swashbuckler could be interesting because the idea of the swashbuckler, not only does it fit with the like sailing in space kind of thing, but the idea of the swashbuckler is that they're so good at dueling that they're able to kind of like jump out of range without like incurring opportunity attacks and dance around the battlefield. And you could play that up as, again, accidental bumbling around, where like people just aren't.
Oh, sorry.
They just don't really know how to deal with this giant elephant like stumbling around.
Yeah, and that also
Um,
fits in with like the trunk. Like he can utilize the trunk in certain ways and in
Yeah.
ways that people are not expecting. Yeah.
There's also Arcane Trickster is the way rogues get magic, and the way I run it, it's going to say like you only get spells from certain classes. I think that's dumb. You can just take it from whatever but schools, because Arcane Tricksters don't get that many spells. I also think they're removing that limitation from the new one anyway. So if you want to play up magic, that's a way to go with it, and you can do basically anything another subclass of rogue can do with the Arcane Trickster thanks to magic. It requires a bit more like time building it in strategy around the character build. Swashbuckler, like it's basically all built into the class. You don't really have to worry about like any additional decisions or anything like that.
I really like
yeah.
Swashbuckler. I'm
Petty
ahead and
Dan's
read
man,
the
I made a
Swashbuckler.
Luxodon Rogue and called him Tiptoe. It was
Oh,
hilarious,
that's
RP.
cute.
That's really good.
That's cute. Yeah, go ahead, read through Swashbuckler. Again, we're only going to 5th level, so you'd only get the first
Gotcha.
feature, but it
Yeah.
is a decent amount. So go ahead and read through that.
Cool.
All right, Aaron, for your subclass, did you have any sort of like thoughts on a spellcaster or a sorcerer subclass?
Sure did not. I was like, I knew if I got into this at all before the stream, I was going to like blink and have an entirely done character. So
Mhm.
I was like, I'm not even gonna think about it a little bit. So no, I really haven't.
Elton John.
Yeah.
Elton Fawn.
Ooh. Right, Elton Fawn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, there's always wild magic.
Wild magic's always fun.
There's always wild magic. If you
I saw
wanna get
somebody in the chat
crazy.
say like Boomstick should have been a wild magic sorcerer just for the chaos. Like,
A wild. So we'll have wild magic involved in one way or another. But if you want to be a wild magic, that will definitely add some flair. I'm not super familiar with the Critical Role Rune Child one, but it might be interesting to explore here.
I mean, Rune Child sounds like a '90s
Rune
thing,
Child,
like,
like whenever you, if I recall correctly, and whenever you cast magic, a rune appears on your body, and then you can use the rune for different things, like creating shields and whatnot. And you can have multiple runes appearing on your body. So it would definitely like lean into that sort of. You can make them tattoos or something like that, or lights built into like your outfit or something like that.
I also think that when you're on Divine Soul is kind of fun because instead of being like the touched by a god angle, you could be like touched by music, and like that could kind of be the like where you go with that.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
cool.
you get access to, I believe you get access to the cleric spell list as well, right?
while you're looking at that, it's been a minute. I've seen a lot of people in the chat pop in and like, what are we doing right now?
Mhm.
Yeah. So hey, it's the final days of our Kickstarter. It ends tomorrow at midnight Central. So we were like, what's a fun thing for the last 48 hours? We could do some live streams to hang out with y'all, have some fun, and just see how far y'all want to take this thing. And Ben has been dying to get us all into a D&D campaign of some sort, and he wrote a cool one shot that's like super 90s inspired in space and crazy and fun. And so we're like, let's do that. So this is our character creation stream. We're building our characters right now for all of y'all, with all of y'all. And then tomorrow at 7, you can see all the info. It's right there under Ben. We'll be doing a whole D&D stream after doing cast and also a watch along. We got a lot of stuff planned for tomorrow, so clear up your days or tune in when you can. And that's what we're doing. Also, Sam, click that number and make it refreshed if it is.
I think it is
already.
refreshed.
Okay, cool.
Kickstarter wraps tomorrow night at midnight. So we are a little over 24 hours away from the end of the Kickstarter. And again, thank you all so much for everything you've already pledged to the Kickstarter. Let's see if we can get to that Gru Megamind stretch goal before the end of the campaign. And also,
Please.
I do have a few characters for you guys to name for the D&D game tomorrow, and we're about to get to that. Actually, we're about to get to the first one. I first want to cover our last player character here. As Aaron, go ahead and read through those subclasses and start thinking about which one you want to pick. Same thing for you, Sam. We're going through Bard.
I think I got mine.
And let's talk about Austin's character.
He's just been silently cooking. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I unfortunately put a lot of mechanical work into this, unlike some of you guys. So I'm
just-
okay.
I'm
Throwing
so-
shade. Is
wow.
that
No,
one of
no,
your
no.
abilities? God damn. All right.
I'm saying so I'm a little bit more concrete in, but I do know that Ben has a pitch for me after I get through mine. So I'm just saying this is my idea. We'll see where it goes. My name is Willie Weaver. I am a human boy, young man, with all of you wonderful animal friends. And the idea behind Willie Weaver is very, very demure, very mindful.
I will.
think-
I hate that trend
was-
with
I
all
know.
of my being.
Demure?
God.
That was for you, Chad. Think like almost like a Wesley Crusher or like a Morty from Rick and Morty, just like kind of not really super excited to be there. He's a little bit nervous. He's kind of a ball of nerves. He tries to follow the rules. He's a little bit skittish. Um, but I'm playing him as a barbarian, and the idea, if any of you guys are like really into 80s cartoons, there was a cartoon called Mad Max, essentially
Mighty
magical,
Max.
sorry, yeah, Mighty Max, not Mad Max.
Different.
Magical hat, essentially. He's got magical powers when he's wearing the hat. So the idea here is that when he turns his hat backwards, he's a barbarian. He rages out and becomes this big rippling Hulk kind of barbarian, strong, powerful kind of guy.
Also,
Um,
for y'all born 10 years after us, Yu-Gi-Oh works too.
Sure.
Yeah, or Shazam.
Kind of.
Or
Shazam.
Shazam.
I mean,
Like,
Shazam's probably the best for modern reference. I mean, I don't know how modern that is, but more relevant. But yeah, he would be, in my mind, he's the drummer. So his drumsticks from his child form essentially transform into these giant mace, which he uses dual wielding and raging all over the place and smashing stuff. And mechanically, the idea is that when he's not raging, he's very weak. He's got disadvantage on things like strength. The way that I've kind of built that in my character sheet, if you're familiar with D&D, there's an item called, I believe it's Giant Strength Gauntlet, something along those lines, which essentially sets your strength to 19. And so anytime he's not raging, those are going to be off. So I'm just going to be a weakling who's kind of running around.
Interesting. Okay, I was
That's-
wondering what that was about. All
yeah,
right.
that's my
It's just giving
idea
himself
in
an
things.
overpowered item from the get-go.
until
Well,
the day I flipped
I
my
did say
lucky
you guys
hat,
can
keep
and then
magic items.
Yeah,
Actually,
he did say.
The first time I ran this one shot, there was a player who played a fairy, very tiny flying fairy, who also wore the gauntlets of giant strength. So yeah, they're an awesome item. Okay, so yeah, all right.
I will say, I know that you have a pitch. I will say that I feel a little metagamey in the sense that I am completely dumping strength. So I'm happy to like take down some of those other stats as well, because I don't want to metagame this. I just want to make sure that like his strength is nothing, and I just did a point buy system.
So when you take off the gauntlets, oh, your strength is 9.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're going for. Okay.
he's pretty useless unless he's raging.
So you're playing it up that you take the gauntlets off when you're not raging.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's fun. I wasn't exactly sure what you were going for with the gauntlets, and that makes a lot of sense. That makes my pitch a little bit less, not less, but it definitely matches my pitch a little bit more. Because I was thinking about the idea, you had already told me about this, and the idea of a character that starts off weak and then is able to access a great amount of strength. And barbarian, the rage mechanic there makes sense, but I was thinking another route you could take with this is druid, specifically a druid multi-class with barbarian, a moon druid multi-class with barbarian.
Circle of the moon.
And what you do is you shift into a brown bear, and then you rage, and now you're this big ass monster raging bear with extra hit points, and that's your transformation. And then when the wild shape ends, you go back to your weak, pathetic self or whatever. That way your stats, you could focus on like wisdom mainly, which would kind of fit with that like little smart little kid trope. And then the brown bear actually does have a 19 strength. So
And then
you
we
would
could
be able to
all
access
be
that strength
temporarily animals too.
Okay, I'm gonna weigh in here though.
Also, you could shift the bear. It doesn't have to be a bear. You could say it's like a monster form or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Like,
because I do think it's hilarious that it's just like the band lineup, right? And it's like all of these animals, and then there's Willie.
Yeah.
Like, just
So
the
the
human
idea-
boy, which feels also very 80s, 90s cartoons. Like,
Yeah, and
like
he's kind of like Anakin in a bit of like, he was kind of like taken in, very poor. Maybe there's like a band of like mercenaries or whatever who kind of took him in, and then one day the band shows up and he's like, I want to go with them. And then, he
Can
kind of
you
gets
please use
adopted
this kid
essentially.
voice for most of it?
Oh no, the
Oh, yeah,
voice
can we hear
the
it?
voice is a little bit more like it. I'm hoping it's not gonna be too grating, but it's kind of like a mix between Morty and like Shaggy from Scooby Doo. So it's like up here, guys, like hey, wait for me, I'm over here, like hey,
Great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, cool.
Oh no.
And
So they've heard 3 out of the 4 voices now.
the other reason that I like the
5?
barbarian route is I can go the oh god, why am I blanking on it? The giant's primal path. Path of the giant, and essentially when I rage, it doesn't really do much for me. It increases the like attack range that I'm able to do, which I don't think we're going to be quite as focused in on like things like measuring distance.
Are you talking
But it
about
also increases
giant?
it also increases my size. So if you look at Path of the
So does
Giant,
becoming a bear, I assume,
So
right?
yeah, that's why I was
Sure.
thinking that was actually why I was thinking bear. I forgot about this subclass because shifting into a brown bear, you do increase in size by 1. You don't get the extra range, which is interesting. Your reach increases by 5 feet, and if you are smaller than large, you become large. So you just have like an enormous range. Okay, interesting. All right.
Yeah, I
Uh,
figured in this thing where we're not as worried about like mechanics of distance, that probably won't be very broken or anything. So
yeah, so we actually will have some battle maps.
Okay.
I fortunately did find or figure out. So the battle maps we are using, I don't want you guys to see them, but anybody who's interested in looking at battle maps, they're by Tessa Moorcroft. You can find her work on DM's Guild, and she allows people to use them in streams, which is awesome. So those there is going to be at least one battle map, but there's also going to be some theater of the mind. So yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, I think that is absolutely a good way to take it. So I do encourage looking at the multiclass of barbarian and druid a bit. The barbarian is a very classic
Barbarian.
multiclass. Yeah.
Barbarian.
So
That's good, Jed. That's good.
and it's a very fun one. So if you're interested in that, that just does require some extra setup on the DM's end because it's a druid with wild shape. So I just want to make sure I'm aware of it. But either way, I think will work. And since Boomstick is not necessarily going barbarian, that will create 2. Because I do think barbarian is maybe one of the few classes where it's like
you don't
if
want
you
to
have too many barbarians,
yeah.
they start kind of blending together a bit.
Mhm.
Because it is kind of like it's not really a one-trick pony, but they do have one really main feature. So if we go fighter barbarian or fighter boomstick, then there's not going to be that kind of blend.
You want to check back in on that?
Yeah, well, we will in just a little bit. I think it's time for the chat to decide on a character. So,
All right.
everybody who I saw somebody come in and leave a message that was like, "What's happened to this channel? Hey, we're a D&D channel now. Sorry." No.
Yeah.
But the Kickstarter is wrapping up tomorrow night, so we are going to be doing a D&D stream tomorrow night, and these guys are playing characters who are part of both a band and a ship crew, a spelljammer crew. So the idea is that they are the crew of a ship that flies through space, but none of them are the captain. You guys get to decide who the captain is. The captain is going to be the father or mother figure of the group, the Splinter to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Zordon to the Power Rangers, that kind of figure, right? The one that brought these odd fellows together into a team to save the universe and also from a distance supports their weird band, obsession or music obsession. So I've collected some artwork from official Spelljammer artwork. This is all Wizards of the Coast artwork. They are existing characters in WotC's material. We are going to be repurposing that artwork for an original character that you guys will decide on. And first, we'll start with the options for the character. Oops, not that one yet. The captain of the Starhawk, the ship that they're going to be.
I mean, there's no question in my mind. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Zero question.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Sam and I 100% are on the same page.
First,
we are all don't influence the audience. Let them
Fine.
vote.
Okay.
First, we have number 1.
I already saw it in the chat. You were correct. We'll see
We
that.
have the human, She can be whatever you want her to be
Sure.
in terms of personality.
That'll win.
Second, we
yeah.
have the GIF. We already know that our Boomstick character is going to be a GIF, so maybe there's some relation there. This guy comes with a pirate or with a a parrot that has a pirate eye patch. I'm sure he's going to be a very lovable guy. Next, we have the Flump. And then we have an elf, a majestic, magical elf who is potentially very powerful. The astral elves are some of the most widespread in the universe. Elves sort of take on traits from their environment, wood elves, sea elves, etc. Astral elves, of course, take on traits from the astral sea. So,
What is a flump?
that is an excellent question.
Jim Henderson for the name for number 3. Sorry, that was pretty great.
That's pretty good.
Anyway.
Okay, so I'm starting the poll.
Mm-hmm.
You guys
will
can
it
go
be?
ahead and vote for which you think should
You
be
know.
the captain.
You know what to do. There you go.
Yeah, I'm just wondering
yeah,
like,
that's
how
what I
much
thought.
it's gonna win.
I did see Ciro. I think it was Ciro in chat said it should be Mog Slothman, which is a good suggestion, but none of us thought about that. So
Yeah.
That would
I didn't
require Ben.
Astral Elf
That would require Ben
looks
doing the
cool.
Mog voice.
yeah,
though.
I didn't even think about doing Mog as a character. That would have been very funny too. That would have been a good idea.
Is there a sloth? I'm sure there's homebrew sloth.
probably.
Race out
It'd
there.
be fun to be a sloth
probably
drummer
is.
and just have like the slowest beat, like just.
Everything's a breakdown.
Maybe when we do the
One.
sequel, we'll have a sloth join the band.
2, 3.
All right. Oh wait, there we go. And oh no, well, it was almost 69%. I missed
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
It went
way
down
to
to
go.
60. Somebody put a vote somewhere else at the last second.
You know what you needed
almost
to do
69%.
and you delivered.
Nice.
This thing is
wants
perfect.
it to be the flump.
Oh yeah, it's
Got
incredible.
the hat. It's got the captain hat.
Welcome aboard. Like he's like,
Hello there.
Guys, this is supposed to be your mentor, so you know.
It's so much
Sure.
fun.
oh, we're not gonna make any jokes, man.
So, now we need a name for the flump for our captain.
I mean, that's a
Um,
gerbil schnart. Like,
Right? See,
Shame that one's already taken.
yeah, unfortunately.
Jim Henderson really got
Jim
me. I
Jim
did like
Henderson
that
was
one.
pretty good.
Captain
Uh.
Jelly Nelson.
Hi.
Jelly
Captain
Nelson
Jelly
is like a Willie Nelson thing. It's pretty good. Jelly Nelson is pretty
Jelly
decent.
Nelson's
John
good.
Smith.
Jelly
Smith.
Nelson. What was the other one you guys were saying? Jim Henderson?
Jim Henderson.
Jim Henderson, yeah. But they spelled it JYM, I think.
Yeah, to make it
Yeah.
sound alienish.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. All right, we can get 2 more
Mog
options in the
Fluffman.
poll.
Mog
Mog
Flumpman is
Fluffman?
pretty
Mog
good.
Flumpman, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I like
Mog
Captain
Fluff-
Kid. Oh,
Flumpman.
Captain Colex Bilcord.
Wade Squirt.
that's funny.
Wade Squirt.
Wid
Squid
Squirt.
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 Shock value randomly. Brandon Yates, the flump. Look at this.
Try to spell that.
Try to spell what? Sorry.
Captain.
See, this is
That's
why
his
when
name.
Sam mic checked you, it was for this moment.
There you go. Exactly.
Oh, dude. Squilliam Captainson?
That's pretty good. too.
That was pretty good, Leviticus.
Is Captain Squirk something?
Wait. He's gonna be Captain Captainson? That's what you want?
Yeah.
No, it's Squilliam Captainson. So yes, Captain
Captain
Captainson.
Squilliam
yes.
Captainson.
Which is, oh man, I don't know. That might have overtaken Jim Henderson in my mind.
I also enjoy Lazy Jones from Anthony.
Lazy Jones. It's good.
Roxo.
It's good.
I mean, that's something.
Squizzard.
Davy Boneless.
Okay.
Oh, y'all are
okay.
killing it. This is
I
great.
feel like Davy Boneless should be up here, but I've got
Oh,
4. So I've
shit.
got
Rom
Captain
Emmanuel.
Squirk instead of Captain Kirk.
I said Captain Squirk like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So
to
in
take
the
it-
poll right now that I haven't sent up just yet, but I'm writing out. I can only put
I was reading
4
the
in
chat,
YouTube
too.
poll. We got Jelly Nelson, Jim Henderson, Mog Fluffman, and Squilliam Captainson. Do we want Squirk
I
instead?
saw this I saw Sir Squigglysons.
I feel like one of those first two.
Yeah, Jelly Nelson and Jim Henderson feel like they
They're like the
kind
same.
of blend a little.
Jelly Nelson
Yeah.
can go out. Squiz and
Okay,
Boomstick.
so-
Squiz is kind of something.
You. So Captain Squirk, is that what?
Captain
You wanna
Squirk.
do?
Captain Squirk is pretty good.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I think we have our 4. Davy Squiggly Jones. What was the Davy Jones one? Wiggly Jones or something like that?
Boneless.
Boneless.
Davy Boneless.
All right. I'm putting up the poll. This is going to decide the name of the captain, the one who brought this crew together, their father figure,
Our mentor,
this
our guiding
floating-
rock.
Can I wish I could vote. I would.
So bring up the poll. Flumps, by the way, can't talk. They speak in your head.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't
That's
actually
awesome.
speak aloud. So
Do I have a thing for that? If you just reverb, I'm in your brain. I'm your captain.
Davy Boneless is pretty good.
Like that's like, it's just like
I might just make this guy talk out loud because it'll be silly.
I mean, the fact that he is supposed to talk in your brain and they gave him a mouth, like, come on, what are you doing?
He's gotta eat.
That's
gotta
its
eat somehow.
butthole.
He's goo. He can, like a jellyfish, absorb things.
Ross Pitt. Oh no, he's hot.
Hey man, whatever,
like a
You're
man,
into that.
whatever
like a
floats
squid
your
in
space
uniform,
boat.
huh? Or a jellyfish.
Jesus.
All right, we got a little bit of competition between
it's
Captain
close.
Squirk and Captain Captainson, but
Oh.
it looks like Captainson is
Too good.
pulling ahead.
It's
I
too
really,
good.
I know we're
I
past
really
the
don't want to
time.
call him Captain Captainson.
I know we're past the time, but is Captamari anything?
I know
Pretty
you
good.
got
that's his real
calamari.
name.
Yeah,
I know you
yeah.
got calamari, but it sounds more catamari.
Yeah, it
Squid
does.
Yeah.
vicious. Like,
Oh, Squid Vicious is good.
All right, guys, we are wrapping up the poll with Squilliam Captainson as the winner.
Squidward,
Congratulations.
okay.
I regret this already.
Captain
We gotta give the
Captain
people what they want, Ben.
Yeah.
Does he go by like Squill? Like, oh please, Squilliam is my father.
Yeah,
Call me Squill.
kill me, Squill.
Or
Good.
Ilium for some reason. Just
All
me
right. So let's
Billy the Squid, that's good too. Fuck.
Yeah.
There's nonstop.
we
on this
have
one.
let's go back to our boomstick stand-in. How are you feeling about that fighter subclass?
No, so fighter sounds great. Sold on that. And then I don't know if you realize this, but you gave me someone with ADHD an impossible task, which was to read while listening to
Oh,
all.
I didn't
of
expect you to read everything.
Oh, I got almost nothing. And so we've pared it down for what I could retain between. I did like Battlemaster. I feel like it's between either that or Gunslinger.
Okay, so I'm going to recommend not doing Gunslinger because it's complicated.
Easy.
It basically presents a whole new set of rules because it's Matt Mercer's version of Gunslinger. There's a bunch of Gunslinger ones. Yeah, Battlemaster, you just pick a few spells, quote unquote, or like features, maneuvers, and then you're good. Then you can just use those whenever. And a lot of them are you only use after you've hit something, so you don't like waste those dice.
Love that.
So yeah, I highly recommend building a GIF fighter Battlemaster and
Sold.
giving him a musket. That's just what's going to be there. Reflavor it as a blunderbuss. It'll work
Yeah.
fine. That's awesome.
Perfect.
I think we have our and then give him you'll want the crossbow expert feat,
Sure.
but we will reflavor it as blunderbuss expert, essentially. The idea being that it lets you go within, like, up next to people and just shoot them in the face.
Sounds great.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do that quite as well. Yeah, I think we've got our what are we calling them?
Well, okay, so speaking of names, are we just calling my character Boomstick? But it's like a little bit different. I saw somebody throw out Boomstar earlier, and I was like,
Boomstar.
That's
Boomstar is
pretty
pretty
cool.
strong.
pretty good, right?
That's a
For the-
great suggestion.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
I think Boomstar is pretty great.
All right. Boomstar, the GIF Battle Master. Let's do it. All right. Yes, and he will be using the Boomstick voice, but hippofied.
Apparently, thank you all for that.
That's great. I love it. Okay, do you have any questions or anything you want to cover with him? I feel like we've got a pretty good frontliner here who uses a
Well, I
fucking
think the
shotgun.
only thing that we haven't covered is instrument. And when I was
That's right.
thinking more like my dude bro lizard dude, it was like a guitar, and I feel like that could still work. And also, we don't have a guitar. I don't think we have anything with strings right now.
We've got a guitar
have
and we've got a
slab.
slab. With the slab is
the
apparently
slab
also
can
string.
potentially be strings, right? But like,
Yeah.
A giant
So there's
axe
that.
guitar is pretty juicy.
It's not bad.
oh yeah, that could be cool. I'm like back and forth between that or bass, but then also like
Well, a
if I
giant
want to
axe
like,
bass could be pretty good too. It doesn't matter. The shape's
yeah,
there.
I don't have a bass here, and for a dumb bit tomorrow, I might set up my electric guitar with my Marshall stack.
Yeah.
Your bass could sound very weirdly electric guitar.
like electric guitar. I just spit.
it. I
Also,
don't
do you
know.
want to combine it with your weapon? Is it a blunderbuss guitar?
Oh man.
Oh, like shoots out of the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to fire it, you got to strum.
Oh,
That's sick.
100%. You sold me there. I
There
will
you go.
absolutely like. I'll
You got to
let's go.
shred.
I'll roll. I'll
your
crank it, dude.
All your battle master techniques could be
Mhm.
different, like strings and I don't know
Different
how
chords.
I like
guitar
different
language.
chords.
Yeah,
Yeah,
different chords.
chords.
Yeah. Oh,
I like it.
absolutely. I will not remember consistency on which chord does what thing.
Oh.
Just preface that
It
now.
doesn't need to be
Um,
that way. You're Boomstar is making it up as he goes, and things
Yes.
just work out that way. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Blunder
hell yeah.
bass
All right.
is so good. Speed Demon.
Blunder
I just don't have a
bass.
bass. I've been
Oh,
meaning to
that's
pick
good.
one. up.
Go
I've been
buy
meaning to
I
pick
one,
one up.
loser.
I have a bass. No, I have 3 basses behind this curtain. You can
Mm,
come over and pick one up.
I could do that.
It's gonna
really
blow out
wanted
your.
to do this
It's
bit.
I
gonna
was about to
blow
say
out your
that's. I don't
stack.
want to. That was my first thing. I don't know if you saw me do like that, but I was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to put that through Marshall. No, we'll have fun with it. I'll do the guitar. We'll do guitar.
Yeah, I have a head, but I don't have a cabinet.
And my
unfortunately.
axe. Yeah, it'll be great. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Blunder bass.
Fluffy,
weapon.
call Boomstick's weapon Doomstick. That's pretty good too. I like that.
That's good. That's good. All right. Aaron. What are you thinking in terms of sorcerer? Any subclass stand out?
So I liked the suggestion in here of using divine soul, like the being born of music, and that's very, I was born for the stage. However, there is one other very simple thing, which is doing wild magic would be very funny, especially because you could just have him play it as every time he's just like, oh, I meant to do that, actually.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's pretty good.
I meant to blow myself up when I cast.
I meant to blow
Fireball.
myself up. I meant to cast grease on myself. I meant to make a feather beard. I meant to turn my skin blue. All of those wonderful things. It's a very funny list. to read.
Sorry, I was just on a lot
I
of
love it.
stardust. Like it's
Yeah.
just
I love it. Excellent. Did we talk about your instrument? If you're doing an instrument, or are you vocals?
I like the idea of doing
Guitar,
a
right?
keytar.
Yeah,
Keytar.
That's right.
Probably
Guitar.
also would do some vocals, but
Love
Lord
it.
is
Okay.
the lead singer. It's a beautiful voice.
Luis
All
in the
right.
chat says the curtain is
More.
real, Austin. I thought it was a green screen or
No, this
Google
is-
Meet background. Yeah, no, it's real.
I'm out here Kermit the Frog in it up.
Yeah,
Like,
Because you're in front of your theater room, right? Like that's where you are in your
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Time to make the music. Time to light the lights.
it's
Time
perfect.
to get started.
music. It's time to light the lights. Like,
That's
Yeah.
not a
All
bad
right.
Kermit the Frog. I didn't know you had that in you.
dude, everybody who has messed with voices at all has a Kermit the Frog. It's like the one. I appreciate the compliment, but that's like one of the easiest voices ever.
Yeah. Never tried it.
Okay.
You will after
so
this.
I feel like we've got the Boomstick character and Elton or Boomstar and Elton Fawn pretty well figured out. Is there anything else you want to cover about Elton Fawn? Something that maybe could a feat could help accomplish with or something.
I not anything super comes to mind. I definitely think I'm gonna be taking oh, what's it called? The one that lets you do twin spell, because that's very extra.
Mhm.
But outside of that, no, I think I'll just be
Yeah, if you want to
playing
get
around
very
with it.
flashy, you can take the meta magic feat and get additional sorcerer points and meta magic
I'm thinking it'll probably be
abilities.
meta magic, yeah.
Yeah. So that way you can have a bunch of different options for getting flashy. Ooh, and then you can twin spell wild magic. I actually don't know how that necessarily works, but that could be fun to play around with.
I think that's for you to decide, my man.
All
Kage.
right. Cool. Oh yeah, thank you, Kage. All right, so we've got 2. Let's go to Liam.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about those rogue subclasses? Were you able to look at any of them?
Yeah, I like Swashbuckler. I think him sort of stumbling around and being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you," but then like killing them, I think is great. I was thinking about maybe his weapon is like maybe like it's his tusk that broke off at some point, and he uses it as like a rapier.
That's fun. That's
Isn't
fun.
that cool? Yeah.
But like he crafted it. Oh, what if it was like
Yeah.
his father's tusk?
This was my dad's tusk.
Like you get a real Cubone
He fell
situation
down the
going. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Very
Yeah.
Cubone.
Yeah. All right. I think that's fun. Now, this will be a dexterity based
Mhm.
Loxodon, despite being, I mean, you could put points into strength if you want, but yeah, let me think if there's any specific feats that could help accomplish this. Is there anything else about this character that like any sort of like ticks that you want to like incorporate or general ideas that you want to discuss?
Can he fall on people? Is that like a? Can he like trip and fall on people? I'm running with this idea that he's like very clumsy, but the clumsiness translates into very highly dexterous moves. I'm
Oh,
also
the
have the character build sheet up.
Does the mobile feat do anything more than? Yeah, because you're already going to have that. Mobile would give you an extra 10 feet of movement.
Ooh.
I would recommend if anybody if you don't have like a specific idea that you want to accomplish with a feat, look at
Mhm.
skilled or skill expert. Those feats will just give you extra proficiencies and expertise. Oh,
Is there a way to like?
Lucky.
Oh, yeah.
you should
that's
you
not
should,
bad.
you should use Lucky.
Oh.
Lucky feels like it would fit
Lucky.
this
There you
character
go.
That
really
makes a lot
well.
of sense.
Yeah. What does that do?
You just re-roll things that you fail.
Oh,
can do it- you can do it 3 times.
amazing. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, whoops! Sorry. Let me try that again. Like, yeah, you can really like.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say like,
brother.
is there a way to like bash homebrew up like drunken brawler or something? But
Ooh. Oh, would Tavern Brawler be a good one for this?
Oh yeah, what does Tavern Brawler do again?
I think you can grapple. You don't really want to grapple though. Your dexterity
No.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
have
think
my trunk.
Lucky's probably a good one for you.
Okay.
I've also homebrewed some feats to help with martial characters because there's really not a lot in the official material. So I can look through some of those and see if any of them might fit and send that your way later on. But Lucky, I think, would be a pretty natural fit for this.
Okay.
All right. So that's Gerbil. Gerbil.
Gerbil
Spell it one more time.
GERBUL
Verbal.
Mhm.
SCHNART.
Sure.
Oh, go back. Mhm.
SCHNART.
Okay.
Schnart.
Gerbil Schnart.
So Gerd, as we will all be calling him.
Probably.
No, it's the Gerbelschnart is the nickname. My full name is much
No.
longer.
All right, Sam.
Well, I'm
thoughts
gonna call
on
you Gerb.
Bard.
Oh, I thought we were going Artificer.
Oh, are you? Do you want to go Artificer?
I thought that it was the trying to be something you're not. So Artificer made more sense. But either way, it's fine.
Oh, okay, sure. If you want, like whichever way you want to go. Aaron's not playing a sorcerer or not playing a bard. If that's
I guess we just have no bards. I
issue
think
with you, but
Artificer
Yeah, that's
is
fine.
fun, and I think one of it, Artillerist, makes a lot of sense for the mechanics of the dog that used to be a firefighter, being able to use the like fire hose tail as artillery. And plus, it also gives me the ability to
good.
make the tail the magic focus, or the teeth, I guess. And like with Eldritch Cannon, like it's pretty fun. And it's specifically the one under Flamethrower, I can't remember what it was. I was just looking at it. Would be the Eldritch Cannon. Force Ballista. Yeah.
Tomorrow's gonna be wild, y'all.
Yeah, this is gonna be nuts. Okay, so we got a dog with a cannon for a tail. All right, cool. I love it.
How
All right.
do you work on that? Is it like, do you have to like turn around? Are you doing the weird dog arch thing? Like, how you aim that thing? Is it coming up and
Scorpion? I think you can Scorpion.
Okay,
it.
Scorpion.
I think it's
Alright.
fine.
Yeah.
It's just long.
Yeah, I looked through feats. I don't think there's anything that adds much except for chef, because I already put cooking utensil proficiency in there because I think it's very funny for a robot that doesn't eat to be like interested in cooking,
Cooking
and especially
with your paws.
that Icelandic like you're in between death because you need to eat. But
No,
you're
hit
a
the voice,
dog.
Sam. Hit the voice.
Oh, I forgot I have a robot.
They have to eat because they are mortal and will die.
Oh, hello.
So you are a
doggy.
former firefighter robot dog, born for the stage, desiring to be famous, but you also like to cook.
I love that you just made a Paw Patrol character.
He's the service dog.
Like,
you know?
Yeah, I mean, there might be other more
service
interesting feats, but that one stood out because I had already taken chef utensil proficiency because I thought it was funny.
oh yeah, no, we got to make sure we get him one of those vests, but like we got it off of like Space eBay. Like he's not actually a service dog. We're just one of those people that just
Yeah.
puts it on the dog anyway, so that they can get their dog into places.
No, I mean, hey.
So you can get vicious mockery through Magic Initiate.
Oh,
Let him
I should
cook.
probably take that for, yeah, I forgot about that. Magic
Alright,
Initiate,
alright.
Vicious Mockery, 100%.
I don't know off the top of my head if another feat will allow that, but we could also just kind of like.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah, we need that.
Okay, and then finally, our Mighty Max, our Willie
Willie.
Weaver.
Willie.
It's the last name that kills me every time.
Weaver.
I
Yeah,
don't-
he comes from a long line of proud Weavers, Chad.
Jesus. All right, what are you thinking? Are you sticking with that barbarian?
Yeah, and this is kind of what I meant before by like pre-building the class so far. I feel like I really cemented myself into this idea. I think I do
Sure.
really like the idea of like the, kind of Valhalla Dexter's Lab kind of, transformation into big buff guy kind of thing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Obviously taking dual wielder as a feat because I have to have my 2 drumsticks. I know that that's not really meta for a barbarian, but I want to have the 2 drumsticks mace kind of thing because I really like the visuals behind that.
Love
Can
it.
you, when you're big, can you flip them through your hands?
Oh yeah.
Or through your fingers? Yeah. Okay.
When I'm big, they're essentially just drumsticks.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
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 So are they like bats? You're taking 2 clubs.
Yeah. I mean, I have them just down as maces, I believe. But yeah, I mean,
Okay, yeah.
essentially, yeah, giant drumsticks is what they are.
Great.
Curly
Love it.
B
I
says
think those are
Big Willie.
clubs.
Yo,
Big
can we
Willie,
can we
Big
call your
Willie, yeah.
transformation Big Willie style, please?
Sure.
Oh no, this is not going to go great. Okay.
That's so stupid that I
Keep my
actually do
trans-
like it.
Keep my transformation out your mouth. And that's
No. All right. So we have our crew. We have our captain, our wonderful Captain Squilliam Captainson, and there he is.
Squilliam.
William.
So, what's your band name, y'all?
Oh man.
Ooh.
Okay. I feel like that's something we should leave the audience. Maybe if
Yeah.
we have an influence here, it's our musical genre.
Oh God. What would be all of our genres combined?
Well, unfortunately, it's kind of led by the lead singer, so I feel like it's like kind of new wave, like that, like Inya kind of like chant, but maybe like death metal, Inya. I don't know.
No, because
spitballing here.
Elton, I think
I-
Elton Fawn also
yeah,
educates
no,
this a
that's-
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Bjork
true.
and Elton Fawn. So
I think it has to land
Isn't it
somewhere
hair
in
metal?
between that, like Elton John, like 80s Bjork, like kind of.
Or do we
Yeah.
just go full on like Gem and the Holograms and be like new wave space pop?
That's kind of what I was
I
imagining.
think new wave space pop personally.
Osmo pop.
Mm-hmm.
Cosmopop.
It's like new wave
Pop.
space pop, but pop, but with because we have a robot dog singer. It's like it's new wave space pop, but with a beret. Like
in the
that's
chat, Curly says,
what I
Curly
get
says,
described.
Jazz.
Big Willie and the Furry Four.
Oh God.
You're naming the band after the drummer.
Mixed medium mashup. Star
Mor-
Ringo Starr and the Veils.
Morgan suggests Squillum and the Wild Side.
That's good.
Nth Pedal is cool. Legitimately, I like that name a lot.
Nth pedal.
Nth
Talk about
Nth
this
pedal?
werewolf media. That's funny.
Ink 182.
Ink quantity with the squid. That's good. That's very good.
But the squid's not part of the band, right? It's like our
No, he's not part of
He's
the
like our
band.
Yeah,
manager.
he's like
captain
our
of the
yeah,
ship.
yeah, yeah.
Give me our mascot.
Is he related in the music business at all, or he's just
He just
the
supports you from afar.
cap-
Oh,
Okay.
he gets a
producer.
cut. Absolutely a manager.
He's getting the cut. Okay.
Yeah. Cosmospolitan. That's good.
Cosmopolitan.
The Star Bangers. I don't think we can go with that one.
Seen Starstruck a few times.
Yeah,
I
back to
liked
back.
Nth pedal. That was kind of
Nth
sick.
Pedal's pretty good.
I feel like Nth Pedal is a really cool band name
Yeah,
outside
dude.
of
Float-
On its own.
I
The
just saw
Flumpy Bunch.
Yandon Bates.
That's
That's not
bad.
bad either.
Yandon. Yeah.
There Wolf Yates.
All right. So what are
I don't know. There's a lot.
There's a lot of really good ones.
Nth pedal
Ooh,
is
Cosmic
the
Zoo.
best.
Your
like,
boy Ghosty said
actual.
Broken Cosmic Zoo, but Cosmic Zoo
That's
sounds
a cool one.
Cosmic
Zoo
Zoo's
is
good.
pretty
I like
strong.
that one.
I think that.
Okay. Do we need to check this against any kind of actual existing band names if we want to like
Ooh.
make stickers or something? Okay.
Ju-
I mean, if you
Julian.
want to, I don't know.
I think we should
Julian.
make band shirts.
Julian Turner
Is there a
said
merchandise
like Mr. Blightside, which has
I
something
saw that.
to it.
Okay. How about this? How about this? We don't necessarily need to decide on the name right now. We'll just get some suggestions from chat. And this is something that we can decide before the show tomorrow.
I've seen a couple Wings of Iron.
Mm.
All right, never mind. That one died. I tried.
I thought it was sick. I went,
The Ringmasters. That's
The Ringmaster.
Mr. L100 says merch idea, and I know you meant that merch for stickers, but it's very funny to me if the band was called Merch Idea.
That's a good name. The Beast Boys.
There you
Beast
go.
Wars.
Oh,
At-
Beast.
Beast Boys, not Beastie.
Beast
just Beast.
Boys.
Yeah.
Asteroids.
Linkin Bark.
Linkin Park.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
The Beatles.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay, I think we got a pretty good list. We'll look through them and we will placeholder name.
Uh,
We will have a I guess winner. I don't know.
Yeah.
Revealed in the show itself.
Deep space
Yeah,
vibe.
that's a lot of really good ones.
DBGBs.
DBGBs.
That's good.
This
Oh,
is very
fuck.
good.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
Yes.
So
The
stupid.
Zoo Crew.
All right, so we have a bunch of good names to go through for that. There is,
Page
however,
the Alien. Sorry.
That's good.
actually two other characters that I do need names for. These are NPCs that are going to be present in the game tomorrow. Again, we are playing this one shot tomorrow. That'll be starting at the same time. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, as we are wrapping up our Kickstarter campaign, going till midnight tomorrow, which is when the Kickstarter ends. And you guys have already decided on the captain of the Starhawk ship, already decided their name.
What's that name
But
again?
there's one other. They're Squilliam Captainson.
So good.
Gee, I wonder which one of these could possibly be Squilliam Captainson.
It's hard to tell.
So I need two names for these guys.
Oh hell yeah.
I feel like I'm not gonna
I-
like them. They give me the vibe that I'm not gonna like them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I am gonna go Ski Bop and
Schlort.
Brock Steady.
Yeah.
Brocksteady's good.
The hippo's
Lort
Brock
and
Steady,
Gugar.
obviously.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
No, Hippo would be Bebop. Right? Wait, no. You're right.
No, I'm just saying Brock Steady looks like that hippo right here.
That's true.
Just Bebop and Rocksteady.
Or if you wanted to go with like a really bad like 80s 90s cartoon villain name, it would be like Unhippo. Right? Like
Oh
Which
yeah.
one is that?
The bug.
the bug.
Oh.
Oh wait, can we name the bug Schizo Ouija?
He's a Ouija, yeah.
Schizo Ouija.
Whoa. That's a good
Schizo
reference,
Ouija
Sam.
and
Damn.
Brock Steady. There, that's my
Yeah,
vote.
He's a Ouija.
We're
and
letting
Brock
them-
Study.
Yeah,
know,
we
I'm
got Jim and
Oh.
Bim.
They
We got
need
Liam and
suggestions.
Torian.
I've seen
Schizo
Blizzard and
Ouija.
Woomstick, and let's just say Woomstick should never be uttered ever again in life.
Woomstick.
Don't like that.
Um,
Bug
Yeah,
Boy
I'd
and
like to see that
Hitman.
womb stick.
This is my
Mandy and Hippopotamus.
Jesus.
Ooh, Zorthax and Bob. That's pretty strong.
Oh,
Zorthax and Bob.
That's good. Also, Bulk and
Hop and Hip.
Skulk. I like that.
Buggy and Hippie, but they're flipped about how you think
that's-
they would be.
One
Jim
is
and Bim.
Schizo and the other is Ouija.
Oh, Schizo and Ouija.
Yeah, Schizo and Ouija.
Gizo and Ouija. There we go.
Yeah. Skitter and Splat.
Clunk and Chunk. Good.
Thick and
Carapace.
thin.
And Gugar.
Thick and thin is
Carapace
pretty
and
good.
Mask. Yeah, Carapace and Mask. That's kind of gangster
Ooh,
villain.
Yeah.
Who's
Carapace
this
and Mass.
Thick and thin.
Yeah, thick and thin good.
It's pretty funny.
Carapace and Mass is like actually, if this was gonna be a long form story, I
like-
feel like Carapace and Mass is a great duo.
Like space
Yeah.
gangsters or something.
Yeah.
Will Jim Carrey climb out of the hippo's ass at any point
Uh.
in it tomorrow?
Maybe.
In the
Who
game?
knows?
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Code
just making-
Digit says
roll a
itch
d20,
and
Liam.
bump. See a doctor.
Wario and
Oh, it wasn't.
Luigi.
Fuck. I'm sorry. Because in Ace Ventura 2, it's a
Water.
rhino. He cried. I got it wrong.
Top and bottom? Oh no.
oh, I'm sold. I am 100%
Okay.
sold.
Oh, which is which? Because you got power
have-
bottoms.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know. I honestly
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm glad that they can own it. You know, they're very
Yeah,
proud.
like, oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Ma and Shaw.
Yeah.
Or they just don't get it. It's like it's
This-
not a reference to anything. It's just
No.
random.
Top and bottom.
Like, what are they?
is so
Why do they keep
funny.
talking about us like that?
There seems to be a lot of want for rhyming names in here for sure.
Mhm.
All right, so I got Schizo and Ouija, Clunk and Chunk, Thick and Thin. I need one more.
Oh, it's top
for
and
the
bottom,
poll.
Ben.
Top and
Top
bottom.
and
do
bottom
like-
made its way to the list.
Do we really want that? I
Yeah.
feel like that's. Are we
If
sure?
it
Are we sure about
wins-
that?
If we
If it
put
wins,
that
that's
in
great.
the poll, that is what's probably going to win based off of chat right now. So
Top and
Are we sure- are we
bottom,
sure we
top
want
and
that?
Bottom. Bottom
I mean,
is,
to be
is a
fair, I
Shakespeare
haven't given you guys
reference.
any context of what these characters even are. So
yeah, they
and
could
I'm
be
not
like our
going to.
parents or something.
I'm not going to.
Oh, peanut
no.
butter and jelly. That's
Peanut
also a
butter
good
and
one.
jelly is cute.
That's
That's
cute.
good.
I like
Wait,
that one.
That
Peanut
one
butter's
is
the
very
hippo,
cute.
right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah. Jelly's
yes.
the yeah.
PB and J.
PB,
Oh,
PB and
Oh,
J.
peanut butter and jelly. I would be like that. It's a lot
Oh,
less
that's cute.
sexually charged than top and bottom.
Yeah, because
But
like
yet still the same thing, right? Like,
we have the chance right now to avoid our own Buddy McBoastface. If we do not need to include top and bottom. It's good. It's funny.
But
PB and J
also,
is
Oh, but the gear knobs alienified top and bottom. THAUP and BOWTUM.
That's
okay. If we're gonna do top and bottom, it has to be alien-fied.
I think
That's only going to be funny for
Ooh.
this amount of time
Yeah.
right now.
PB&J is good
I-
though.
Beg to differ. It depends on what top and bottom have to have for us tomorrow. Never mind. You're right.
Okay, Chad.
It's gonna be bad.
I like PB&J
I like
a
PB and
lot.
J.
I like
Shake and
PB&J.
spear.
PB and J is
I'm good
solid.
PB&J.
Oh,
Like that.
Mandible and Manatee, Eminem. Not bad.
Yo.
That's
Good.
also pretty good.
Well, PB has
All
to
right.
be spelled Peebee, and J is
Mhm.
Jay.
Yeah.
J. You spell it out. Yeah.
JHAY.
Jhay. Yeah, there you go.
Just to be, yeah.
J.
all right, the poll is live. Go ahead and put in your votes.
You said think and thin instead of thick and thin.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
well,
should be
people
thick and
know what
thin,
it
yeah.
is.
Oh no, you did include it instead.
We're
All right, this is
Bodie
going to be a
McBoatface.
battle between PB
Come
and J
on.
and top and bottom. The age-old debate.
PB&J. Help us out,
PB&J.
chat. Also,
Oh, it's
It's
close.
gotta
It's
be
close.
Voting top and bottom.
if you guys pick top and bottom, I'm gonna mash this run ad button on you so good.
It's close. We got 38 on peanut butter and jelly and
PB&J
35
enjoyers
is top
don't
and
I like
bottom.
PB&J a lot.
Yeah.
Oh
PB&J.
man, Nameless just came in with Hopper and Hipper.
Hopper and
Oh,
Hipper's pretty good.
That's really good.
Oh.
That's actually really good.
That's really
whatever
good.
wins this is going to go up against Hopper and Hipper because I
Hopper and
really
Hipper.
like
Yeah.
that.
You're just gonna seed them straight to the next round.
Mhm.
Hopper and
Yep.
Hipper is pretty good.
I'm still rooting for my PB and J. I think PB and J is fantastic.
Okay, PVJ is pulling ahead. We'll see if it fares well against Hopper and Hipper.
Jacob
Hopper
Ross's
and Hipper's
jokes
really
on you.
good.
I'm into that.
I am sad Schizo and Ouija because I do feel like
Mhm.
you know in
Yeah.
the like gangster theme from Final Fantasy VII. I feel like Schizo and Ouija goes so well with that like musical
yeah, it
idea.
does.
Yeah,
Those are definitely Don Corneo henchmen.
yeah. Don Corneo henchman. Yes, that exactly that.
The
So
good
you look
news
at this
is-
image. Let me get this straight. You were looking at this image and you think mobster.
They feel evil. They feel bad.
Well, they're the bullies from Power Rangers, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's what they're.
Yeah, it's
they're-
Bulk
yeah.
and Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Bulk and
I never
Skull with
watched it,
faces.
so I don't
on
know their
them, right?
names.
Okay.
Lucas
Okay.
and Denny.
Peanut butter
this is-
and jelly.
This is the real tournament of
Winner.
champions, chat. Yeah. This is
Okay, so peanut butter and jelly has pulled well ahead of top and bottom. So
Thank God.
good.
Thank you, chat. No
Yeah.
ads.
No, but-
none.
but
can't
we
do-
have probably planted that seed, and
Mhm.
somebody else is gonna DM or create a create these characters. Like they may live on.
We can
okay.
only hope.
Do we want to like specify peanut butter and jelly for this next poll, or do we just leave it as peanut butter and jelly?
No,
Or is
it's
it like
PB
PB.
PEEBEE and J?
And, yeah,
And then
JHAY.
Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PB and J.
okay?
But
Versus
but in
Hipper
your
and
mind, they're flipped.
Right. Okay. PB and J versus Hopper and Hipper, or Hipper and Hopper.
Yeah, horizontal flip the image. That's
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
record.
In your mind.
Hippo is PB.
No, it would be Hopper and Hipper for left and right.
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
No, it would.
Hopper
Hippo.
would be.
We
Which
know
one's
what
Hipper?
know
Which
which
one's
one's
the
Hopper?
hippo.
Hopper
Oh,
is
100%.
Grasshopper.
Yeah,
Hipper's
Hipper
the
has
hippo,
to be
yeah.
the hippo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Hopper has to be. Oh, this is gonna be a
It's
close
50-50.
lock
This is
battle.
Oh no.
Oh, this is a close.
Oh,
Oh,
it's 50-50.
Oh.
Wait, which one is
Alright.
PB and which one's J? If I
PB's
The hippo is
Did- did-
PB.
Yeah.
Hippo
the
is
hippo's
PB.
PB. So the
Yeah.
hippo
Yes.
is hipper. Okay, so this is the right order.
Yeah.
So they're both
Oh,
both
if we're flipping both.
from
Okay,
right
I
to
got
left.
it. I got it.
Yeah. Oh no, it's
Okay.
so close.
Hipper Hopper's at
one ahead.
52%. PB and J is at 49 now. Okay,
51.
it's really this could be one of the closest votes we've ever had on the
Your
Death
vote
Battle
Chase
matters,
chat.
Hour says
chat.
you
It's
guys
50-50.
confuse me. Sorry, we're trying.
Oh,
I don't know.
Donate to the
I'm
Kickstarter.
confused
Thank
too.
you.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you're confused, just go to the Kickstarter. Everything is very
It's clear
well
there.
organized there.
Sure.
Wow. Okay, we're at 50-50 now. Okay.
Oh man.
It keeps going back.
matter
from
what happens.
them having PB and J's in lead. Oh, Hipper Hopper's PB and J. It literally keeps going back and forth. Oh my god.
No matter what,
I'm
they're
rooting.
gonna
I'm
stay-
rooting PB and J.
They're gonna stay PB and J in my heart, no matter what happens.
No, but Hipper and Hopper is so good. See, both of these.
It's fantastic.
No,
Yeah, it's
they're both
fantastic.
really
but it's
good.
not fair. It's not fair to split the votes 4 ways
Oh.
and then get a 50.
Yo, hold
Oh.
on. TM
Oh,
Calypso coming in. Master of Compromise. J Hopper and PB Hipper.
Yes.
Oh,
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay, that's
There
how you
you
do
go.
it.
Way
I
to
like
go.
that. I like
J
that.
Hopper.
Good job, Calypso.
Calypso,
Thank
you've resolved
you.
some conflicts in your day,
You
and I
did.
just want to say I appreciate you.
There would have been a really
You're
bad fight after this call. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've got it figured out. Surely these characters will be very important in our one shot to justify all this, I'm sure.
Well, they are
Uh,
now. And they are to
well,
me.
Yeah. In our hearts, they're the most important characters.
With that said, we have our crew. We will figure out our band name. We have our captain. We have our PB Hipper and J Hopper. And we have Chad with hand up.
Does the ship have
Each
a name?
You. I mean, it's called the Starhawk.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The answer is yes.
I was like, yeah, we
Keep
changed
paying
it. No, it's fine.
attention.
It's Captain Captainson's old ship.
Okay,
So
got it.
you may have a dark storyline to follow about the origins and the
Ooh,
backstory of the
That's
ship.
what we'll get
his-
into after the one shot. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this guy's dark backstory.
Yes,
Dark,
zoom.
dark past.
Zoom into his eyes. Look into
Oh, he
his
has little
captaining
eyes.
master
Those
of
eyes have
Look at-
seen things.
Yeah, he's seen some shit
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's not a mouth.
one
It's actually a
has
male
trauma.
slot.
You know his like battle shout is very Murloc-y, right? Like, no way, it's not. Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
All right, everyone. With that, I believe we have wrapped up everything we set out to accomplish for this stream.
We actually
But
pretty
does he become-
perfectly hit
Um,
it like time wise too.
Yeah. You want to
Yeah.
We plan on going for about 2 hours.
talk about these tomorrow?
Knew what we were doing. Yes. So tomorrow we are going to be doing multiple streams leading up to the end of the Kickstarter. At 12 p.m. Central Time, we are doing Death Battle Cast. We've been doing this pretty regularly for the past few weeks, but Death Battle Cast is now airing live on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Central. The plan is to keep doing it that way moving forward, but the VOD will then air or be posted at 6 p.m. Central the same day, as well as uploaded to podcasting websites and things like that. Then, so we're going to do Death Battle Cast tomorrow at noon with the matchup being Palpatine versus Xehanort. That should be really fun. Two old geezers who love being evil. I love it. Then at 3 p.m., so 3 hours after Death Battle Cast, or 2 hours after it ends, we will be doing a live Q&A and watch along with Death Battle episodes. Very similar to what we did when we first kicked off the Kickstarter about 30 days ago. Kind of running through some episodes, taking suggestions from you guys, chatting with you guys until we get to the 7 p.m. D&D live show where we are playing this game that we just spent all this time. What's happening to my...
Sam, what are you
to make
doing?
it look a little better. There you go.
Well, now you're covering the text.
Where... No, Xehanort, where we are going to be playing this game that we just spent 2 hours building with these characters that are definitely very serious and very, definitely not going to die. Don't worry. And their wonderful, tentacly bizarre captain. I don't really like his face.
If you kill if you kill
Squilliam.
Willie,
Squilly.
I think the internet will riot. I'm just saying.
We'll see. So
I
we
need
are going to
plot
be playing
armor.
that live tomorrow night from 7 p.m. until around 11, hopefully, depending on how long it goes. And that's when we will start our wrap-up party. And just join us for the final hour as we count down to the end of this amazing Kickstarter campaign.
I
And
do have
again and again, I say it, but thank you so much for all the support you've given to the Kickstarter
yeah.
so far.
For a wrap up, I do have some fantastic DB trivia that we might play in a game show style.
Fantastic trivia. Ooh, okay.
Promises.
All right.
promises.
Chase Hour, are they all gonna die? Yes. So join in tomorrow to see how that happens.
No.
By the way, my backstory is that Wiz did a failed experiment, and then Boomstick woke up in this universe as a hippo person. GIF.
So it is just Boomstick.
It is
but
straight up Boomstick.
now
Yeah.
he's
and,
GIF,
and,
okay.
and maybe canon.
Outfit and all.
Who knows? Yeah.
Love it. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. We
Thanks,
will
y'all.
see you tomorrow for the last day of the Kickstarter.